Welcome back to the Howepodcast101. I am Jake Roberts, joined alongside
Lucas Mitchell. And we've got a great show for you guys today, and of course, I think. Do you have something to say at the beginning of this podcast?
At the beginning of these podcasts?
This podcast. Well, I can't speak, man.
I did not. I did want to say Noah Riley, our engineer, our fantastic engineer. Fantastic.
That's
funny. That's funny. Our decent engineer. He's gotten better, I would say. But we're going to keep trashing on him because he's not going to bolt in and say anything about himself. He's not going to defend himself.
Yeah.
In fact, he never defends himself.
Yeah. He just doesn't want to turn on his mic and speak.
He doesn't want to defend himself. He doesn't want to tell the story about. He doesn't want to tell the story about what happened a few minutes ago.
Oh yay!
No, I will not tell that story.
Really? So you want me to tell it?
No, I do not.
Noah's bad engineer. If you did not know,
he's okay. You know, he's not a professional. Neither are we. But you know,
we're better than him.
At least we have. If we were,
he would admit that.
But the thing is, if we were the engineers, we would be better engineers than Noah at the moment. We need to stop trashing Noah, don't we? We got to move on to things to talk about / announcements.
Yep. Also, if you did not know, we have open ad slots.
Let's cut this short. Every week we have open ad slots. Make sure to subscribe for more.
All right. So, if you want to contact us by our email, it is howepodcast101@outlook.com. I mean, you guys know the drill. I mean, we do this we've been doing this for 15 episodes. 16th week, though. Let's go.
Second episode of 2021.
Technically 16th. It's been 18 weeks, but 16 episodes.
Oh, and what did I say? I said that 2021 would be worse than 2020, and literally it's already happening.
Yeah, fun. Capitol got stormed. Isn't that cool?
We'll discuss that a little bit in one more thing.
All right, and so that can be your one more thing if you want.
I'll discuss it a little bit. I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I'll discuss it a little.
So sponsors, we have Hannah's Cafe and Market. We have Dawn Smokehouse, Palio's, Medford Chiropractic, and Family Wellness in Denton.
Oh, you nailed it. Let's go.
Cartwright Creation, and thanks to FBC Howe, we have this great room, and it's been great doing this. Make sure you guys respond with information about school activities, and go to our website, how101.com, to donate to us, give us your money.
Why do you say this every week? Like last week, you're like,
give us your money. You can also buy our merch.
That's more like it. Ask people to buy. Don't say, give us our money.
Just give us our money.
Give us our money. Well, I mean,
it's our money if you guys give it to us, so technically.
That is true, I would have to say. I don't really think there's anything I can say that would... Yeah, no, that's true.
Well, also, absolutely. You can find us, you can find, to contact us. I think it's easier on the website to contact us. And also, you can comment down below on this video if you want to see us do anything different. Any, I guess, what would you call them? Trying to think of the word to help fix our podcast.
What's
the word for that?
Constructive criticism.
Yeah. Okay,
there we go.
That's a good word.
Should I leave the How News 101 thing for one more thing or now?
We can just do it now.
Okay. So, me and Noah Riley were on a one-episode premiere of us in 7th grade. A bunch of 7th grade squeakers talking about how in general... And we privated it. It was on this exact same channel. A few years back, we changed the channel up and made it, I think, better. I mean, it could be worse. But I think we're pretty professional now.
Yeah, I mean, Noah's not a squeaker anymore, am I right, Noah?
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
I would hope so. He tried to lower his voice.
No,
I would hope so. Now he hired it when that happened. Okay.
All right, and
but hold on. I didn't finish.
Too bad.
I wanted to, wow, okay. Well, I did want to give a goal on that. We will play a little bit of audio of that in one more thing, I think. But we will reveal the entire showcase of How News 101 if we can get
80 subscribers
to
in
80
2 weeks.
subscribers in 2 weeks. And if we get to 100, we're going to do something special for 100. I don't think we've discussed that yet, but we're going to do something special for 100 subscribers. We may even, I don't know, we'll figure something out for 100 subscribers. But 80 subscribers, How News 101, the original, will be revealed. We'll play some audio of that. Maybe add some video of that up at the break. At the one more thing. But segments. Do you want to do segments, or do you want me to do segments? It's up to you.
You can do segments real quick,
All right,
and then I'll go sellout mode for the YouTube.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
We got the intro segment, which is this. Keep listening to this. If you want to listen to the intro segment, you're listening to the intro segment right now. So it's too bad you already listened to it. You can't affect your decision. Your decision has already been made. Was that confusing?
You were looking at the wall, so I was wondering what you were looking at.
You know, I was thinking, what if we had a Howe Podcast logo right there?
That'd be pretty cool.
What if we have one just next segment? What if we just did that?
Appears.
What if it just appeared? I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but what if it did?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be weird? Kind of weird? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It may not, but if there's a logo right there, that'd be pretty cool. NFL overreaction / Super Bowl predictions. And then I'm really excited for this one. We have an interview with our former history teacher, Mr. Williams.
7th grade history teacher.
7th grade history.
And we'll have an interview with him, Mr. Williams. He's the teacher that we can call him by his first name. He's just a cool teacher.
Yes. He will be joining us shortly, and he's going to discuss with us the origins of Howe in general. So I'm interested by that. I'm interested to see what Howe was like before it was Howe.
Yeah. And then, so our next thing after that is how oh shoot, I can't even speak.
How's Howe?
No. It's top 10 list, and then how's Howe? So,
Which that's short. That's just gonna be
that'll
us.
be pretty short.
Yeah, short.
Just our.
What was that?
I don't know. Just not good at. Speaking.
Okay, then we just got time for one more thing after that. And coming up next, we have the NFL overreaction / Super Bowl predictions.
I didn't get to sell out.
You can sell out at the end.
Darn.
And one more thing.
Subscribe, like, and comment, and put the notifications bell on the left side or right side. We don't know.
Noah, did you figure out if the notification bell was on left or right?
I could not find it, but I'm guessing right.
Yeah.
I think it might be left, though.
I think it's right. I'm pretty sure it's right.
Oh, well.
Oh, I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. Okay. Thanks for listening to the intro segment. Coming up next, we got NFL overreaction / Super Bowl predictions. First Baptist Howe Youth Services on Wednesday evenings is a great place to be. With ping pong, pool, basketball, gaga ball, hanging out with friends, and even a free delicious meal just in case you're running late after a long day of school. But the best part, you'll hear a message of hope in our Lord Jesus Christ. Brought to you by Wes Robertson, our youth minister, and music brought to you by our youth praise band. The youth building is located across the street from the main church entrance. Wednesday evening starting at 6:30 and ending at 8. Hope to see you there. Howe First Baptist Youth. Small town, big God. Hey Lucas, who's your favorite chiropractor?
Rachel Medford, of course.
Medford Chiropractic has the best chiropractic service in Texas, but they also have the best massages and more.
They have massages?
Yeah, and they are awesome.
Yeah, you can find more information on medfordchirotx.com.
That's medfordchirotx.com.
Medford Chiropractic and Family Wellness at 2412 Old North Road.
940-535-7067.
That is their phone number. And Dr. Rachel Medford, awesome personality, and she's a great person.
Welcome back to the Howepodcast 101.
I'm Lucas Mitchell, and this is Jacob Roberts. What?
That was not okay.
What do you mean?
It's just not okay.
I'm Lucas Mitchell. What's wrong with that?
It's just not okay.
How's that not? Am I gonna get canceled?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Twitter already banned you.
Twitter. I don't really even use Twitter.
Too bad they banned you.
I have an account, but I just don't use it.
It doesn't matter. They banned you.
I posted like 2 things on it.
They banned you like they banned Trump.
Oh, rip. All right, so today we're gonna do our NFL overreactions and underreactions, and we're gonna start that off. And I guess after that we'll do our Super Bowl predictions.
We'll do that. We'll do this rather quickly today.
Yeah,
because we're excited about the top 10 list, and of course, Mr. Williams' interview is after this. So, okay, Noah, hit us with the
first overreaction or
All right.
underreaction.
The first overreaction or underreaction that we have is Brady versus Belichick. Brady wins.
Explain this to me.
Brady
I
wins,
know
yeah.
I know who Brady is.
Do you know who Belichick is?
I've heard the name too many times.
He's
but
the
I don't-
Patriots coach.
Oh, I see. What is that supposed to mean then?
I'll
Oh,
explain.
wait, never mind.
Give me
That
a second.
makes no
I'll
sense.
explain to you. See if you understand it after this. Noah, do you agree with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I.
Definitely wins.
No, I definitely agree with this too because, look, Tom Brady, he was fantastic at New England, and I didn't like Tom Brady when he was at New England, but I think it's mostly because I didn't like Belichick. And when they went through the scandal in 2014, the deflated ball scandal of cheating and all of that, they did cheat. Like, it's written that they did cheat, and he got caught for it. But they should have suspended Belichick rather than Brady, I think. What do you think?
Well, they can't really do that. Belichick's the head coach.
You can suspend the coach. It happened in the MLB. Remember? Didn't the Astros coach get suspended for like a year? The manager? I think something. Look that up. I'm pretty
Maybe.
sure something like that happened.
I think
Maybe Red Sox. I don't know. I don't know much about baseball, but I heard something about that.
But let's continue. So Brady versus Belichick. Is it now?
It's discussing throughout their entire careers. There's been a debate: is Brady better than Belichick at being a quarterback, or is Belichick making Brady better by having good coaching? But now that Brady went to a new team, he's proving that he is fine without. Last night he threw for almost 400 yards in their win over the Washington football team. The Washington football team. I'm still not okay with that.
The Redskins.
So-
Cancel
time.
So pretty much, it's been the Patriots have been a crazy good team this past 2 decades.
Yeah.
And the battle is if it was Brady making the Patriots really good or Belichick's coaching that was making the Patriots really good.
And they are saying that Brady is making the Patriots good. And
Well,
I
not
can
the
complete-
Patriots.
Well, that's just what
Brady
he said.
made the Patriots
Brady made the
good,
Patriots good.
That's what I
He's
mean.
making the Bucks good now.
That's what I mean, though.
and now the
made
Patriots
them.
are not very good.
Yeah, I think that Brady
No.
did make
They were
them-
not.
I think they did make. I can't even speak, but I think Brady did make the Patriots team better.
He did, for sure.
Because he's doing amazing already. I mean, so I would think that Brady would have been better on the Patriots team if Belichick's coaching was better. But he's just doing fine without him, so I don't think there's much to add to it.
So I guess we can just call this a reaction.
Yes.
This is just straight facts, is what we would say.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
the next one, I know what the next one is.
this
Noah's
the one that-
happy about this one.
Y'all said that this one's gonna get me flaming. Is
No,
it
I
this
think-
one or
I
the
think
next
it's
one?
It's the next one.
Yeah, it's the next one.
Okay.
But
Alright.
this one is.
This is an overreaction or underreaction. The Ravens are the hottest team in football.
Noah probably thinks it's a reaction.
Go ahead and say what you think.
That is underreaction.
Now, before you say what you think,
Ooh.
really, okay. So
Wait, underreaction means it's very, very good. and
No.
accurate.
That means
that's just a reaction.
Yeah,
A react.
reaction.
If it's
Yeah,
if it's
it's
a
accurate.
reaction,
That's
then that's
good.
facts. Look up the score of the Titans Ravens game right now because I am interested. If the Ravens win this game, I do think they have a legit shot at making the Super Bowl. Now, I don't think they're going to go ahead and beat any of the really good teams like the Chiefs or the Bills. They're not going to beat the Bills.
Yeah.
I'll just be totally honest with you. The Bills beat the Colts yesterday 27-24. And go ahead.
The Ravens beat the Titans 20-13.
Okay.
22-13.
That's awesome.
Now, I didn't have much. Really? It was that low scoring? Wow, I'm surprised by that.
Especially with the Ravens' high-powered offense.
I didn't have much faith in the Titans' defense because the Titans' defense is bad. But now, Baltimore. Does it say what seed Baltimore is on there?
Let me check. I just closed.
Yeah,
it out.
I think they're either
Way to
going to
go,
be
Noah.
they're going to be playing Buffalo next week.
The Baltimore.
Bills.
No, it does not. They're
does not?
second in the AFC North. Yeah, it doesn't say.
They are either going to be playing the Bills or the Chiefs, I believe.
Oh goodness.
So
Yeah, they're
Noah,
done. That's what I'm saying.
If they win though, then that really makes them Super Bowl contenders.
I think they're done.
I mean,
They're
I
not gonna
can't
win
guess
next
the
week.
anything
odds
because
are
I'm not good
in
at
their
football.
favor.
That's true.
But would you say that Ravens, like by your biased opinion, would you say that Ravens have a straight shot at the Super Bowl?
I would not say they have a straight shot. It's going to be a hard path, but
They're not winning.
Their team can definitely make it to the Super Bowl.
And Jake, what do you think?
Can I go out on a limb here?
Yeah.
They ain't winning.
They're not winning.
They're not winning.
So there's a reaction and there is an underreaction.
This is a straight overreaction. They are hot, but they're not that good.
Yeah.
It's overreaction. I'm sorry.
Could I make... So the way that Ravens are doing, I think their luck factor is just too good, so I'm going to have to say they will make it almost. Maybe.
I think they're going to lose next week.
I'm like in the middle of you two. I'm not too sure that they're going to make it to the Super Bowl, but I'm not thinking that they would go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think they'll get halfway. They'll be almost there, and then something will happen, and they won't be able to get to the Super Bowl.
I'm a little concerned about this next one because you said it was going to make me mad.
All right.
Let's do this.
This next one is titled, Oklahoma is quarterback U.
I'm not mad about that. I don't necessarily think that's true. Well,
Just look at the hoodie you're wearing.
okay, I am wearing a Texas hoodie, but I mean,
They have produced some really good quarterbacks in the past 3 years.
in the past 3 years, but their quarterback right now isn't good. Rattler, he's not that good. He's not going to be in the NFL. Now, we don't have enough about Jalen Hurts. I really don't think Jalen Hurts is the long-term answer for Philadelphia, as I like to call him. Baker Mayfield, he's pretty good, but I don't know about his long-term. Go ahead, Lucas.
I don't understand what's going on. So what I completely understand is that Oklahoma's producing good quarterbacks.
That is true.
And the quarterback now is
not good.
What is not good? But what is the quote saying on there? What does it say?
They are Oklahoma University. They're a quarterback university. They produce the best quarterbacks.
Oh, I see. What college do you think makes the more? Can't even speak. How do I format that?
I would argue Clemson
Well, they do have Trevor Lawrence, who is
and Deshaun Watson.
beast. Yeah.
So I would argue
They're
Clemson over the
close.
past few years. Now, I know just because you have Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray, that's good and all. But Jalen Hurts, I don't really think he counts in that category. It's because he was with Alabama too.
But the couple games he played, he did really good.
He played in 5 games and was 3-2. Noah, he lost to Dallas and Washington.
He had a great stat line.
He lost to Dallas and Washington and got pulled in the game against Washington.
Washington is in the playoffs.
They are not anymore.
Not anymore, but they were.
Dallas was not in the playoffs, and they were bad this year.
True.
So I don't believe in Jalen Hurts in the future. I think the future of the Eagles is going to be bad. I think the Eagles, it's going to take them a while to rebuild. Now, the future of the Washington football team, that's a little different. They're pretty good this year. But I would say that this is... I'm going to say it's an overreaction just for the sake of Clemson. I think Clemson is a better quarterback university just because you have Deshaun Watson, who is... Deshaun Watson, as Lucas says, who is a fantastic quarterback for Houston. Speaking of that, he might be leaving Houston. Can I get into that for a second? Do we have time for that, engineer?
We have a couple minutes, yeah.
Okay, so interesting story about Deshaun Watson and the and the Houston Texans. He was caught saying something when they hired their new offensive coordinator. He was like, "Well, nothing ever changes here at Houston," which some people are starting to speculate that maybe he's going to be asking for a trade to get out of Houston. So first, they trade DeAndre Hopkins for a bunch of scrubs from Arizona.
David Johnson.
David, that's the name. I couldn't think of it. Who wasn't great this year, right? David Johnson wasn't good.
He was very mediocre.
Yeah.
He wasn't bad, but he wasn't good.
Why? Why would you make a trade for DeAndre Hopkins? Like, what in the world were they thinking? Bill O'Brien, the coach of the old coach of Houston, he got fired earlier this year. What was he thinking when he decided to do that?
I think he was trying to aim big, like take a huge risk and hope for a huge outcome and have his names in the book.
He had a huge fail.
Yeah, it was
Unbelievable. How do you do that? It was so stupid of him, and I'm not ever going to forgive him, frankly. I don't think he ever deserves another head coaching job.
Kyler Murray have a great season, and Kyler Murray's starting to be a pretty darn good quarterback.
I agree that Kyler is... I do agree that Kyler Murray is a good quarterback. Do I need to explain why he's Kyler, or no? Okay, I'm not going to... Yeah. Okay. Super Bowl predictions. Noah, go ahead.
All right, my Super Bowl predictions is, quote me on this, the Ravens and the Packers.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say, well, I kind of just, I've heard too much about the Chiefs, so I think Chiefs are gonna go to the Super Bowl. Like, that's just down there. Like, that's just bam there. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
kind of what I think.
I think Chiefs will be there, but I would not know who could compete against them.
The Packers are very good this year.
The Packers
or the Saints?
Saints are not good enough.
The Saints
I don't think
have
they'll
an
make it.
incredible roster on paper.
On paper.
So did the Cowboys at the beginning of the year.
They did, but their coaching is just terrible.
That is true. If I were going with predictions, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is probably incorrect, and I fully acknowledge this. This is fun for me. Buffalo, Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
I don't think that's going to happen, but it would be an
the
interesting
most
matchup.
Unlikely thing. That's the most unlikely matchup.
The most unlikely. So you think it's more likely that the Rams get to the Super Bowl than Tampa Bay?
Honestly, yes. I think that would be a little more likely.
But
if Tom Brady makes the Super Bowl with the Bucks, he's going down as the best quarterback of all time.
Yeah, if he's not already there in most people's books. I think Peyton Manning's still better with stats. I think stats say that Peyton Manning's better, and I'm a stats guy. So I still think Peyton Manning's better. But if Tom Brady wins, what would that be? 7 Super Bowls?
7 Super Bowls. That's more than every NFL team.
Wow, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that'd be crazy. But, with all of this stuff happening, look, I don't think that Tampa Bay is going to get there. But wouldn't it be an interesting matchup to see Tampa Bay versus Buffalo in the Super Bowl?
That would
be an interesting match.
It'd be a good... And do you believe in the Bills? Do you think they even have a chance?
With Josh Allen, the Bills have a slight chance, like Lucas said, yes.
I think they're going to make it to the AFC Championship against the Chiefs, and I don't know who's going to win that game.
So, in my opinion, not really in my opinion, but if you guys were to convince me on who would go to the Super Bowl, the very most likely people to go to the Super Bowl, how would you convince me, and who would the people be?
I would tell you Chiefs and Packers based on stats.
Noah, what are you going to say?
I would tell you Ravens and Packers due to the Ravens' incredible running game and Lamar Jackson. They have Lamar Jackson.
No, you're making me mad.
And they have 3 running backs. J.K. Dobbins, I don't know the second one, but he's still pretty good. And Mark Ingram.
So why do you think he says that, though? Like, just because they have Lamar and they have 3 running backs?
Baltimore is a good team, okay? Baltimore's a good team.
Yeah.
Baltimore is a very skilled team.
They are not going to win the Super Bowl. In fact, they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. They are not going to make it to the AFC Championship game.
Wow.
They're not winning another game this year. They're done next week. When they play Buffalo or Kansas City, they're out.
Next week, we're going to see if that's true.
I know we will, and I know it will be true. There's no way.
Okay.
No way.
All right, well, we'll see about that when the time comes. But I think we're going to wrap it up this segment.
Yep. Coming up next, we got the top 10...
Something. We're not going to reveal that yet.
We'll do it right after this.
Hey, what's your favorite pizza place? Well, it's Palio's Pizza, of course. But Palio's also brings you the best fresh salads, sandwiches, pastas, and my favorite, wings. They have a great lunch menu, delicious desserts, and their drinks have free refills. Palio's Pizza is located at 303 West Hanning. We are available for dine-in or carry-out. Order online at www.palioshow.com or call us at 903-532-0390. Palio's Pizza in Howe.
Welcome back to the Howepodcast 101. I am Jake Roberts, joined alongside
Lucas Mitchell, but we're also joined alongside Mr. Williams. How are you doing, Mr. Williams?
I am doing good. How are y'all?
Doing good.
We're doing fantastic.
Awesome.
we initially started the show by saying in our first episode, our first segment, that we wanted to do some history of Howe. So I knew you would know stuff about Howe in general, I guess. So let's start with this. How was Howe created? That's
How was
hard to
Howe
say.
created?
How was Howe created? Howe was created because of the railroad tracks that came through. The Houston and Texas Central Railway came through 1872 to 1873, and they were coming from Dallas, and they were heading to Denison because Denison had just been created because tracks were laid from Missouri to Denison. So if Dallas could connect to that, it would connect.
Oh, we lost you for like that last half of what you just said.
Not the last half.
Or not last half, but the last bit of what you just said. You said Dallas and then something.
Yeah, y'all were kind of cutting in and out.
Yeah, it's probably our Wi-Fi in here. So, you know, along with how long has the name of Howe been approximately? Because I know it was started as Summit, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, kind of. There's a lot of confusion with that. A lot of people think that Summit was a town, and that's not the case. When the railroad came through, there was only really one main town in Grayson County, and that was Sherman. The other towns were towns like Luella and Farmington and places that aren't even towns today. So as the railroad's coming through, it's building these towns like Melissa and Van Alstyne and then Sherman. Well, just north of Howe, it put in a switch, which is just kind of where a train would pull over or switch, change out some carts or whatever. And they just called it Summit. And that was in 1873. And then a post office was built there called Summit. Howe, the name of Howe, actually wasn't coined or created until 3 years later in 1876. This guy named Jabez Haining donated what you would consider Howe today. He donated that land to the railroad tracks, and they built a station there and called it Howe. It was named for a railroad guy named F.M. Howe.
So when did Howe initially become an actual city? Because I know you said it was just a railroad track. When did it become an actual city?
Well, it had the post office in 1876. It wasn't incorporated until 1884, making it the 6th incorporated town in Grayson County.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah, so house schools in general, when was the first school in Howe built? Because I know the old middle school. I believe that was the first Howe school.
Well, the original school was actually over on the east side of the tracks, and that was about 1877 or so.
Okay.
And it operated through two different buildings until about 1897, just before 1900. And then it was moved over to what you're calling the old middle school at this point. That building that's there now, there used to be another building there, and then it was replaced with the current building about 1937 or so.
Cool. So, I mean, I guess I don't really know the history of the schools. When did they start building the middle school and elementary? Do you know when that happened?
That's going to be in later years. I mean, we're talking probably the 50s, 60s.
Okay.
So
Oh,
the
I
buildings that are there now, yeah.
When did the mascot Bulldog officially? I don't know if you know the exact year, but approximately when do you think the mascot?
Dude, that's a good question. I'd have to look into that. I know I've seen some pictures of like the original mascot. It was a little bulldog. But again, the actual mascot, I would say that probably would have been in the 1900s, 40s, 50s, somewhere around there.
And that's definitely interesting. Along with a lot of school spirit comes from that. Because if it was just Howe, I don't know who would really. It's less interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
So along with Howe's origins, the railroad tracks and all of that. Do you know who Howe's first mayor was?
The very first mayor was, I've got it right here in front of me. Well, yeah, I've got it. Let me find it. First mayor was George McCrary.
George McCrary?
McCrary.
McCrary.
McCrary. McCrary, yeah.
Now that's interesting. The funny thing is, do you know who the mayor of Howe is to this day?
I do not.
Noah, do you know who the mayor of Howe is?
I do not.
Last I heard, it was Stanley, but I'm not sure if that's still
That's
the
the
case.
funny thing.
Stanley.
No one really knows who the mayor of Howe is.
Like I never saw anyone vote.
Yeah, I don't even.
Like-
I don't even think we vote because I think we live in Luella, and apparently that was before. That's what you were saying, that Luella was a town, and then it became not a town.
Yeah, Luella was there before Howe, and the railroad skipped Luella, and so most people in Luella moved to Howe because back then you needed a railroad. It made the difference.
I guess these cities, these were like these, I guess, little outposts. Would they be called outposts back then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, before the railroad, like towns like Luella and Farmington, they were big, booming towns. And when the railroad missed them, I mean, it basically just killed them. Some towns, kind of got full of themselves. They thought, well, the railroad's going to come through us. We don't need to pay them or give them any land. And the railroad would skip them just kind of to prove a point. And it was the end of those towns because of that.
Really, that's definitely interesting stuff. And Howe has a pretty interesting history. Some towns just, they were just kind of founded, but the fact with the railroad and all of that's definitely interesting history. And with stuff like that, what I'm trying to make a point is history is important. And I know a lot of people don't like history, but
I like history.
No, do you like history?
Specifically, how?
History is my favorite subject.
Okay, well, I guess I'm proven wrong here, but I know a lot of people don't like history. My favorite subject is also history, so I guess I can't agree with that. But
well, I'm gonna say that math is your least favorite, and math is my second favorite.
It's my least favorite too.
Yeah, I don't understand people.
I like
that
math.
like
Math is pretty cool.
I know Noah's okay with math too.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I don't get it's
I like
math.
math.
Like, why would you like math?
I'm just good at it. That's why I'm like it, because I can get ahead of everyone. Noah, you remember like in Friday, like we took. I honestly, like, I don't want to say that I could have taken on like the entire class, but I definitely could have taken on
Yeah,
the
you
entire
probably
class in
coulda.
one. Like, I probably gotten all 10 questions. I don't know, like how many questions was it? Like 12 or something.
12, yeah.
And then so I would have been able to do it in like maybe like 5 minutes, and everyone had to do it in like 20. I'm like,
took us,
oh
like,
darn it,
20
I gotta
minutes.
switch out to do these questions.
Okay, so a few more questions here. Do you
Yeah.
know when sports was initially like Howe's first season? Because I know there is some interesting information about their original football team. Do you know anything about that?
I do not know anything about the original offhand. How, unfortunately, there's just not a lot of records for Howe. Howe, it was a booming farming town, but compared to the surrounding towns like Van Alstyne and Sherman, it was much smaller. And so as far as Grayson County history goes, there's unfortunately just not a lot out there. I keep hoping that one day maybe somebody's just sitting on all this history waiting to be discovered. But right now there's just not a lot about Howe out there, unfortunately. And we know a lot about the churches. We know that Howe had at least 3 saloons at one time, a blacksmith shop, things like that. But as far as other history, there's just not a lot out there right now.
Okay, let's talk about the saloons for a second. Lucas made a funny face. He liked that a lot. As far as the saloon, there were 3 saloons. Is that what you said?
Yeah, saloons.
Wow.
No, I'm kind of dumb, and I've only watched the movies. But would saloons in the movies, are they pretty similar to what the saloons would have been in Howe?
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. You think of the double swinging doors and the cowboy shootouts and all that. It's been pretty close.
Cool.
That's definitely interesting. I guess Howe was created in like 1870s, 1880s. That's definitely just straight in the Wild West era. So
Yeah, and like I said, it had 3 saloons, and then sometime after 1900, the town voted to go dry, which means alcohol wasn't permitted within city limits. And at that point, you're going to have things like drugstores and cafes and things like that are going to come into what used to be the saloons.
Wait, like, what if we kept those 3 saloons and we would have, instead of having abbeys, we would have saloons? That would be much
it'd be a different
greater.
town for sure.
Yeah.
were those downtown buildings the saloons?
Yeah, they were all in the general vicinity of that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So
Let's see. The 3 saloons I've got. There was one on the north corner of Haining and Hughes, and over by O'Connell. So yeah, they're all kind of right along what's now Highway 5.
And I know that all this is like back then, but I'm not very up to date with any new Howe history. So
New Howe history.
is there
How does that work?
anything major? Major events. Is there any major events that happened in Howe in the last 20 years?
In the last how many years?
Yeah, 20.
The last 20 years, not particularly, but one of my favorite things to tell about the history of Howell is, you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
They were all through this area, up and down, going back and forth from Dallas to Oklahoma. And in 1934, a month before Bonnie and Clyde were killed, their partner, Ray Hamilton, was actually arrested in Howe. We believe he was arrested where the post office is now.
Yeah, that's
cool. I've heard of that before.
I feel like I've heard of that, maybe.
I remember.
But definitely interesting to get some more insight on it. Noah looks like he has something to say. Go ahead, Noah.
Yeah, isn't there a building with the bullet holes that Bonnie and Clyde shot in Blue Ridge? Is that right?
I would have to check into that. I'm sure there is. I'm not sure if it's Blue Ridge or not, though.
I feel like I remember that from your class.
Yeah, because we watched a Bonnie and Clyde movie in 7th grade, right?
Uh-huh. We
Yeah.
did. Glad you remembered.
Do you still watch that?
Yeah. Well, we didn't last year because of COVID, but hopefully
Okay.
if we're still in school this year, we will.
How's COVID life going in the middle school?
It's awesome. My favorite.
Oh, man.
Yeah, everyone loves it.
Just a bit of sarcasm there.
Yeah, well, All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll have to do it again on history of maybe another town, maybe just Grayson County in general.
Absolutely. Sounds like a plan, guys.
All right, coming up next, we've got the top 10 list of the week. We'll do it right after this. Dawn's Smokehouse is one of the best fresh butcher shops in Texas, but it's not just a butcher shop. It's home of the best jerky around and the famous Great Wall of Jerky, where you will find 17 different kinds of jerky, including bear, buffalo, elk, venison, turkey, and of course, beef and more. We are open Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 to 6. Dawn's Smokehouse is located in downtown Howe at 111 East Hanning Street. Come on down for a free sample and experience the Great Wall of Jerky. Dawn's Smokehouse, the best jerky around. Want a t-shirt with your favorite Howe Bulldogs athlete name? How about a custom tumbler? Or let's get loud at the game with a customized cowbell. Cartwright Creations designs and sells custom tumblers, t-shirts, and cowbells for all your favorite sports teams and events. Easy ordering and quick turnaround from your own local. Lacey Cartwright. Cartwright Creations can be found on Facebook and Etsy or directly online at cartwrightcreations.etsy.com. Cartwright Creations is ready to take your custom order today. Cartwright Creations, where Bulldog pride never dies. Welcome back to the Howepodcast 101.
I'm kind of getting tired of saying our names, and so we should just do the intro and then just not say our names every time. We only do the intro. I'm kind of. I don't think they want to hear our names every 5.
Yeah,
actually, that's actually a long time in between segment, but you know what I mean.
I kind of agree with you.
Is that your plate from? Oh, you didn't even put that up.
Yeah, I should have put that up.
Tell the audience what you ate.
I had a fantastic chicken sandwich and some Oreos. So,
Oreos. Well, let's get into this top 10 segment with the top 10 desserts. So, the most tasteful, what is it? Delicious, just delicious desserts.
Noah just hit the top 10 music. Thank you for that. That's the new music that we have.
Good engineer? ? I'm just kidding. Wow.
Love you, man. It's getting a little toxic there. Okay, top 10 desserts. Noah, is that the list?
So, yeah, top 10 desserts. So, let's talk about desserts. I don't know why, but there's these two main things. I mean, actually, no, this is not even a question why. But why does there only exist 2 flavors that go along with chocolate, any type of like ice cream or any food or any dessert really, is there's vanilla and chocolate. Always, I mean, I'm a huge fan of vanilla. That's like the only thing I eat. But I know a lot of people that like chocolate, and I just don't like chocolate. Like, especially like shakes or ice cream or something. I do not like chocolate at all. Or chocolate cake.
Donuts. I know you don't like chocolate donuts.
No. Yeah, I really don't like them.
Speaking of donuts, that is our number 10 on the top 10 list.
Oh,
Let's go. Top 10
almost
with
like we saw the
donuts.
list beforehand. Wink. I'm just kidding. We didn't
So
say
you
it.
guys have no idea how much I love donuts. I mean, so this building we're in is our youth building, I guess you can say. So we hang out outside out there, and sometimes we have Phil. Philip, yeah. Philip will bring us a bunch of donuts, and I ate 3 this morning.
You had 3? Just kidding. There were some leftover ones, and I had 3 too. So I'm not gonna argue.
You know how many did you have? I know you took like 1 or 2.
I just got 1.
You only had 1? I thought you had 2.
What a
I got
nerd!
1.
Only getting 1.
Did you get mad that I had the last one?
No.
You were kind of out there. You kind of. I don't know. Didn't he seem kind of mad?
No,
I didn't even
didn't.
notice.
Yeah.
Like, where?
I
Who
didn't.
took
Where
the
is it?
last donut?
Right. So yeah, donuts are just the delicious things. So along with this is vanilla and chocolate. So not really vanilla, but it's glazed donuts. They're practically the vanilla of donuts, but they're not vanilla. You know what I mean? They're like,
You know.
the vanilla versus chocolate. You'll get both glaze and chocolate for a vanilla and chocolate. It's always a mix of those two or something.
That's very fair. That's very, very fair. You know, I love donuts, and I've always liked donuts, and I've always been a huge supporter of donuts in general. But
That sounds like a Donald Trump like a speech thing. I love donuts. I've always liked donuts. They're kind of good. You know?
I love donuts.
I know it's.
I've always loved donuts. I'm a huge supporter of donuts. No one is a bigger supporter of donuts than me.
All right. So Wallen, keep saying what you're saying again.
Donuts are good. Moving on to 9, Noah.
Oh
Let's go.
yeah.
All right. Number 9 is cake.
Cake. Cake. Yeah, it's the same thing. Vanilla and chocolate. It's always usually going to be vanilla cake, but it's usually a half and half with I guess if there's not cupcakes, whatever.
Good
But-
cake is good. Bad cake is bad. That's my stance on cake.
But so I guess if it's not already on the list, but there's different kinds of cake. There's different, like, I guess you could call them pie, but not really pie. But so my favorite kind of cake has to be the just vanilla cake, right? Just straight up vanilla cake, and then I guess you can go on to
The white cake with vanilla icing?
vanilla white cake, the vanilla cake.
My
with
favorite
vanilla ice cream
is yellow cake with
Or
chocolate icing.
I don't like it.
Actually, the best cake I've ever had is the Mom's Bakery in Sherman Oreo cake.
Oreo cake. That sounds good.
It's very, very good. Noah, you don't really like cake, right?
I don't, but I will eat cupcakes. I think the reason I don't like cake is because of the amount of cake.
Yeah.
The amount of cake can sicken you out. I understand.
I understand that too. And, you know, I would say that cake is a little overrated in
Really?
general.
Well, they're usually used for birthdays, and
Why, though?
So I'm just gonna assume a number, and let's assume that. Well, it's just like a rate of people. Let's assume that 40 people today have a birthday. Of course, not. There's of course way more than 40 people.
I hope.
But those, like, if we have 40 people a day having a birthday, probably like 35 out of 40 probably got cake. You know what I mean?
Probably some type of cake.
Some
39
type of
out
cake.
of 40.
39.
I know there's
Oh,
people
yeah,
that like
true.
pies.
That's true.
Well, I mean, it's kind of no, it's not really kind of cake. But
I want a birthday pie.
the kind of cake that always strikes me as sort of a pie, but not really a pie, is a strawberry cheesecake.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say.
I
does
love strawberry cheesecake.
Does it have to be strawberry, or what about regular cheesecake?
It doesn't matter. Both are really good.
Have you ever had cheesecake with chocolate chips in it? I know
Like,
you don't
not-
like
and
chocolate.
It sounds disgusting to me. I
Noah?
like just the plain.
Go ahead and tell us number 8.
Number 8 is a cinnamon roll.
A
Oh.
synonym roll.
Now, would switch this with donuts.
A synonym.
A synonym roll.
A synonym.
You ever had
roll.
a synonym roll, Noah?
We actually did that in 2nd grade.
Really?
Synonym rolls, yeah. It's kind of
Oh yeah, I remember that. What the heck?
Yeah.
You must have known that meant it was like deep in your mind.
Yeah, it's like when you mispronounce synonym and you say synonym. Or you mispronounce synonym and you say synonym. I can't even do it.
Cinnamons. Oh my gosh.
Try saying synonym. Do it like really fast. Synonym.
Synonym cinnamon. Synonym cinnamon.
No, I can't even
Synonym
try.
cinnamon.
I'm not even
Synonym
gonna try 'cause I have a
cinnamon.
slight
Whoa.
stutter.
Synonym.
Yeah, it's difficult. 7, Noah.
Number 7 is a sundae.
Ooh.
Huh?
Chocolate sundae.
You want something weird? I probably had 2 Sundays in my entire life.
Okay, move to 6. I don't want to get into that. I'll talk with that for a long time.
Number 6 is what y'all were talking about previously, called cheesecake.
Yeah, strawberry cheesecake or just in general cheesecake is just, it's too great. I don't know. Where do you get your cheesecake? Does your mom just buy it like sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes she'll just come home from
occasions?
Sam's and she'll just be like, "Oh, here's a cheesecake that we got. We just got like 400 cheesecake bites." So
Do you know the angel bread? Like, what are do you know what they're called? Like, you have like angel bread, you have whipped cream, and then a strawberry.
Oh, yeah.
What are those called? Do you know?
Ooh, strawberry shortcakes?
Yeah,
strawberry shortcakes.
But when you take off all of the ingredients besides the angel cake, the angel bread itself,
So
I
good.
literally, like, I can get a loaf of it and straight up eat the entire
So
thing.
sweet.
I love it so much. Like, that's the one thing that I would get so messy over because there's so many crumbs.
sounds fantastic.
It's so
to be
good.
honest with you, Noah, number 5.
Number 5 is a milkshake.
Milkshake. I love
Ooh, I'm
milkshakes.
down.
This comes back to vanilla and chocolate, but also, I guess, Brahms. Can everyone agree that we most, like, I'm going to do another ratio here. 30 out of 40 people get their milkshakes from Brahms.
I don't get it just from Brahms.
Wendy's.
Wendy's?
No,
Fries?
no. That's a Frosty. That's not
Oh,
a
that's
shell.
right.
That's a little bit
That's right.
different, Noah. Don't you dare compare. Don't you dare compare Brahms shakes to Wendy's Frosty.
Yeah, don't even.
Yeah, that's
I will
right.
come over there and smack you.
But this comes back to the vanilla and chocolate, where most people will get, most people will get vanilla, and then like I guess half and half with chocolate and vanilla. But you already know I only get like only chocolate or only vanilla milkshakes.
Oh,
only.
my.
What about you? What do you get?
Half and half. It just depends on the day.
Just
For me.
depends on the
Sometimes
day.
I'm like, sometimes it's a tough decision. It's a decision that could impact your day. So I'll sit there and I'll be like,
I'm just like, I want a vanilla shake. It's like, what kind of shake do you want? It's like, I want a vanilla shake. You're not gonna get like some other flavor. They've got like
No.
tons of flavors.
I
It's
like-
like really cool. It's like, I like vanilla. Like,
Lucas has a very vanilla personality.
That wasn't funny.
that wasn't funny at all.
I prefer to get
Vanilla-
my shake from Whataburger. Their Dr. Pepper shake.
What? Dr. Pepper
If
shake?
you have never tried those, go to Whataburger and get one.
I might
Okay,
have to try that.
speaking
Actually
of
sounds good to me.
Whataburger, who here called it Waterburger when you were a kid?
Me.
Whataburger?
Everyone
Waterburger.
has called it Whataburger.
I've probably mixed it up a few times, but there is a Whataburger in like California.
How gross does that sound, though?
Yeah.
Think about this. Waterburger.
There's a Whataburger and there's a Whataburger.
My brother said that he
Or
thought
what's a
that
burger or something. I don't even know.
when he thought of Waterburger, he thought of just a regular burger, but they just poured water on the bun and just smacked it on.
That's disgusting. That's like the world record of eating grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, they just
Have
like
you seen
dip it
that?
in water.
Dip it in water and just drink the grilled cheeses or whatever they eat.
No, number 4.
Number 4 is chocolate.
What?
What?
Chocolate.
What's the picture?
It is, looks like
Like a bar?
dark chocolate. But there's little bits of dark chocolate shaped like a heart.
So just chocolate in general?
Chocolate.
This is
Okay.
boring. Let's move on to 3. I don't care.
But like, do you like what is chocolate used for?
Everything dessert-wise?
I know, but like, what would you use it? What special occasions do you eat chocolate? Do you just go to Walmart, you see a cookies and
Valentine's Day.
cream?
What do you mean?
Valentine's
There's
Day.
no special. The special occasion for chocolate is when I want it. That's when. That's the special occasion.
It's always a special occasion when you want chocolate. See, I don't know why, but I'm much more fun. Like, I'm much better off with just chocolate in general. Just eating the bars, like the Hershey bars.
Okay.
Is so much better.
I'm gonna say something real quick. Have you ever been to BJ's? It is a restaurant in, I believe, Plano, Allen, maybe. They have these desserts called kazukis.
Kazookies? What?
Okay. Picture this. I'm like making a book title. Picture this. A ginormous warm cookie that was like just now cooked, like humongous,
Yeah.
with a scoop of ice cream on top.
That's
And it's like a
it's like
cookie that you can
cake
like,
with ice cream.
except the cookie's not like a cookie cake. It's like an actual cookie, but like a mushy, like a soft cookie. Not mushy, like a soft cookie.
It's like a cookie cake, but
Yeah.
less cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
That does
That
sound good,
sounds
but
pretty good.
These
I want to eat all of it. I would eat the ice cream part.
are the best dessert that I've ever had. I haven't been there in over a year because I usually go there with my grandparents.
Yeah.
But I need to go back there. It's so good. That's 10 out of 10. I would recommend that. Go ahead.
Speaking of cookies, number 3 on the list is the chocolate chip cookie.
Wow, it's almost as if we keep. Why do we keep?
We're
predicting-
kind of just good now.
People are really gonna think that we have the list in front of us.
We're
We really
cheaters.
don't.
Yeah, guys, we have a TV right here, as you can see.
We just put a green
I
screen.
need
over
a.
the TV.
We should just get a straight up, just a clock that doesn't show time. We just plop it on here.
A clock that doesn't
That
show
doesn't
time.
show time. It like I guess it has the hands and stuff, but it doesn't have like the numbers.
Why?
Just a blank clock.
That sounds like.
That sounds cool to me.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Okay. Move on to number 2, Noah.
Number 2 is brownies.
Okay. I was
Brownies.
thinking. I was getting a little frustrated.
Brownie should be at number 11.
What? You don't like brownies?
I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, it's the chocolate thing again.
Your
but
opinion doesn't matter.
I guess-
You don't like chocolate. Your opinion doesn't
brownies
matter.
could be in my top 10, but they're not like anywhere close to top.
So if
5.
someone gave you a warm brownie, you're not taking it?
No, I'll take it. And they're in my top 10. I'd eat it, but like I just wouldn't eat it if I had most of the chances. Like brownies are good, so I'll eat them when I'm like hungry. Like so after school, when we play D&D, me and some friends play some D&D. There's this one girl in the group who bakes a bunch of brownies every time, and her brownies are just amazing. But like I'll eat like 5 or 6, and everyone would be like, "Chill out, man."
I
Leave
would
some
too.
for the rest of the people.
I would chew. I would chew. I would chew the brownies.
You would chew the brownie, just like gum the brownies. Just
Is there chocolate gum? Is that a thing?
I don't want to know.
No,
No?
not that I know of. No.
I bet someone tried to make that.
Yuck.
Yeah.
No, you can have like chocolate.
And Noah
They probably
Riley,
made that.
give us the number 1 dessert of all time.
I already know it.
Number
but-
1 is ice cream.
I'm okay with
Let's
this.
go! Ice
Yeah,
cream's
it's
number
pretty good.
1. Yeah, I'm 100%. I agree with it. No, what did you do?
He spilled nerds again. That's 2
Oh
weeks in a
my
row.
See, there's still nerds in the room.
My goodness, Noah, we're gonna.
All right, look, I'm gonna get through this quickly. Ice cream can make a bunch of things. Shakes, you can make anything with cake. You can put it on anything, and ice cream in general has so many different flavors, and is one of the best ever. Any desserts, that is just the best dessert in the entire universe. I think everyone can agree with that, and well, actually, most people. Sorry, my bad. Don't cancel me.
Canceled, bam. Too late.
So, I think that ice cream deserves its number 1 spot in about everyone's list. Can you agree with that?
Yeah, I can.
Because
Because
it's so many different flavors, but I
there's
think
a flavor for everyone,
the only
really, is the
reason,
main thing.
Yeah, the only reason why you wouldn't want ice cream is because it's too cold. That's like the only reason I could maybe think of.
Okay.
Or if your options are limited. Perhaps.
But then your
that would be
options.
it.
Oh, your options
Or-
are limited on ice cream?
And if your options of being able to take it with you or just the messiness of it.
And if you're lactose intolerant, that's another story.
I used to be in.
I think-
that
aren't you
can be
technically
part of
still?
my one more thing later.
Okay. We do have some interesting one more things for today. We're gonna have Noah pull up some audio from the original Howe News 101.
Yes, sir.
I cannot wait to hear that. You've got to get some headphones for that. It's gonna be funny.
Yeah, I know.
Coming up next, though, it's time for How's How, where we go around and tell you what we think of How and how's How been.
And how's weed been in how?
What? If you are craving some fried rice, egg rolls, boba tea, beef teriyaki, or my favorite, sesame chicken, then Hannah's Cafe and Market is for you. It's the newest restaurant in town, and for all you Bulldogs, there is a 10% student discount for a limited time. Hannah's Cafe and Market is located at 105 South Denny Street in Howe, just north of the First Baptist Church. You can find them on Facebook or call at 903-532-0529. Hannah's Cafe and Market. Go Dogs! Ooh, welcome back to the Howepodcast 101.
So we're gonna go quickly on these two segments.
Yeah,
So
we have decided to merge How's How and one more thing.
Yes, absolutely. And what we're gonna do is, I guess, talk a few minutes about how our lives have been going and how, and I guess just what we've been doing, and I guess we can go a little deeper into about how in general. You know what I mean?
Now here's what I need you to do, Noah, while we're doing this. Go to YouTube and find the original How News 101.
Yeah.
The original, okay? I believe it's privated, so you're going to have to go into YouTube Studio and do some things. If you need me to come over there, I can help you find some stuff. Just call me over there if you need me. But go ahead and talk about How's How. Or I'll go first in case no one needs me.
So, for how... You can go first, actually. Yeah.
So, my How's How, I guess. It's good. My brother had his first basketball game yesterday.
That's cool.
It was. They did lose, though. They lost to Pottsboro.
Because Pottsboro. It's Pottsboro.
They lost 18-9. And Noah's brother had a basketball game yesterday, too. But do you want to talk about that for a second?
Yeah, his team lost to Tom Bean by 1 point in triple overtime, and the refs had to make up a thing to end the game called sudden death, so the first one was scored won.
Yeah,
and Tom Bean was the first one to score.
That is pretty crazy.
It's an intense game. And I believe that one of the 3rd and 4th grade basketball players had 26 points out of 28. Hunter.
Really?
He had 26 out of 28 points.
Oh my goodness.
Just took it all.
Wow.
If you don't know Hunter, he's an absolute beast at basketball.
But like you living in how is that's so weird to say
How's how?
So your house how have you been doing? So I know you've been here for about 3 years, correct? Or 4? When did you get
4.
here? 4 years. So how have you been doing in the new city of Howe? How was it making new friends? And did you keep your friends from your other school?
So my friends from McKinney, I do not know them anymore. It did not take that long to meet friends here. It wasn't that bad. I believe... I don't even remember what happened with friends. It's weird. You just don't remember how you make friends.
Because I'm pretty sure. I mean, yeah, I don't even know. I usually they just are there. Like
it's just like
if they
suddenly
sit next to you.
Oh hey.
Oh hi, and you're like, oh, we're friends now. We just talk too much, and then we.
Noah, do you remember Miss Tucker's class in 6th grade when I got accused of popping the yoga ball chair?
You got accused for that?
Yeah.
She kind of liked you before that, and then after that, she just...
I swear I did not. There was another kid that walked by with a pair of scissors to go to the bathroom.
They probably
sliced it.
Yeah, they probably did it.
I swear it was not me. I didn't do it.
Yeah, then Jake stands up and is like, Miss Tucker, your yoga ball chair's deflating.
Like, I was just sitting there, and I just suddenly, I'm like...
Oh, way to go, Jake. You sat on it.
I was getting so nervous because I thought it was deflating, and then I realized that it actually was, and I was...
It's like, uh-oh. I'm going to die here in a second.
Did you find the How News 101?
No.
Do you need my help?
Yes.
Okay.
I went to YouTube.
Give your house
and
How.
everything.
So, my house, How, of course, I've lived in How all of my life. And through making friends, I've just done way, way too much with friends. So, I've had many, many friends. And I used to be friends with more of the people who traveled from some other state. And I would usually find them just like at a table pretty much. They would just come up to, like, they would just appear, right? And I would just talk to them. They'd become my friend. But they would eventually move on. And I guess they either became, like, I was still great friends with them. But they either left the state or they either, like, left, I guess, the friend group, kind of. Not really my friend group. But they would usually leave to become someone else's friend. Mostly because of classes and... how all the periods worked out. Like, I was mostly in honors, and most of my friends were in not honors and stuff like that. So it's been kind of sad to witness some of my friends, I guess, not be a part of my life as much as I want them to be. But just throughout school, I've made good grades, and I've lived in Howe all my life. I pretty much know Howe, but not, like I'm not up to date with news, but I'm up to date with what's going on. Just I guess it'd be in the general area of how, even though I live outside of, I pretty much live in a Sherman address, but it still recognizes as just out of city limits in Howe. I don't know how that works, but it just happens. But throughout my life, I've been doing really well. So, Jake, can you turn on that mic and I guess you can talk to me?
I can, and I can also tell you that I did find the original How News 101.
Let's go.
70 views and 5 likes, and Noah Riley looks like he's a 6-year-old. So
let's skip to some part where Evan's like whispering over the camera.
I'm gonna let Noah do the rest of this engineering from here. We're just gonna play the original, a few seconds of it. If you want to hear the rest of it, I believe
you'll have to.
You'll have to get to 80 subscribers
in the next 2 weeks. But I haven't moved at all. Like, I've always met kids who moved a lot. That's the only thing.
I have not moved a lot. I have moved once.
I have never moved ever, and living in Howe all my life. I've never gone to another school.
Really?
I've always like honestly, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't want to be in Howe schools, but I don't want to be in other schools either. Like Sherman.
So you just don't want to be in schools?
Like Sherman schools would be 20 times worse than Howe, even though they're probably more sanitary and a lot better managing schools. But it's more like the people who run the school.
Yes.
It's usually
me and Noah do have a friend, and I know you know him too, Christian, who goes to Sherman. Maybe we can get him on to discuss what life is like at Sherman, because he is in Sherman High School this year.
I'm gonna be honest, Sherman's just not a good school.
Can we move to some of this audio? This How News 101 audio. Go ahead and mute me and Lucas while we're playing this, and turn my headphones up so we can both hear it.
I saw in Boston the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, shout out to Brad who's running the music over there.
I can't point the camera to it. We're on a tripod, so
Shout out to Brad.
we're on a monopod, so
Okay.
monopod of tape. That's what we're on.
What's your favorite part about school?
No.
It's hard to believe that it's you guys who are saying that, because wait, so who was talking?
Turn me down,
that
Noah.
really high voice? Who was that really high voice? Was that Noah? Who's like
At the beginning, that was me.
at the end? Like at the end.
That was Evan Leakey.
That was Evan.
That was Evan.
It really sounds like Noah now. I'm kidding, Noah. I'm kidding.
Your voice is
Roasted.
roasted. No, it
Again-
sounds like your little brothers. Like if all of like
Yes,
your little
it really
brothers
does.
And like the other little brothers in like your area. Like
No,
it
and-
sounds like all of them just like together.
And absolutely, and that it's funny. But 80 subscribers, and we will do it.
weeks, and we'll release the entire video. It's so cringy and it's so great. I love the video. I haven't even watched the entire thing because it's so cringy. Like that's how bad
It's
it
so,
is.
and Noah the entire time. Well, you'll get a face reveal of 7th grade Noah, but he does this the entire time. He's like a deer in the headlights. He's like, I don't want to be here. And there was a green screen behind us, but nothing on the green screen. It was just a blank green screen. I legitimately don't know what we were trying to do. I think we were trying to do this kind of like sort of thing that we're doing now.
It's like, oh, it's so cool.
But then we were like,
Green screen.
shout out to Brett who's running the music.
So I think that's gonna wrap it up for 1 hour. No, not the segment. That's gonna wrap it up for the House How life and that video. But let's move on to our. Get ready for one more thing.
Ladies and
Mitchell
gentlemen,
and,
we just got
everyone else.
time for one more thing.
Yeah. So my one more thing, I've got technically two. Well, I don't remember what the second one. Oh, the second one is. So I'm gonna name the second one first. So you mentioned this earlier, lactose intolerance. So
Okay.
I used to be lactose intolerant. That doesn't make sense at all. But you'll have to understand. I drank lactose-free milk, and when I drank because we didn't really have like the milk all the time because I drink a lot of milk, right? So I would drink just the regular gallon of Brahms milk, okay?
Brahms milk.
Right, and the Brahms milk, it was
It's really
with
freaking
lactose,
good.
right?
I love Brahms milk.
I know, they're just too good.
It's way better.
Way better than like any other place, to be honest. But like I would drink a lot of that, and even though my stomach would hurt a lot, like I would drink it anyway. So I got used to it, and I just kind of grew out. I don't know how, but I grew out of lactose.
Didn't you say that when you have coffee though, your stomach still hurts?
Yeah, I don't know why that is. Every time, not every time actually. I think it has to do with heavy whipping cream versus half and half cream. If I have less cream in there, my stomach will never hurt. But if I have a lot of cream in there, my stomach will start acting up. I think that has to do with a little bit of the lactose intolerance of me. But regular lactose, like just milk that isn't concentrated, is just fine for me. So, but my first but second one, the Senate is just like they're going from humans to back to apes because they're just going back to monkey. I'm not kidding. You know what they said on? I mean, I bet this has gone like so many places, but the Democrats.
Was this the House or the Senate? Do we know?
I think this is the Senate. Yeah.
I believe it was Mitch McConnell that said this.
Yeah, but he said amen and a woman with a prayer. That doesn't even make sense. Why would you say a woman? That's not. Do you guys know what amen means?
Amen is a Hebrew word.
It's a Hebrew word for integral. Or that's basically
something like that.
Along the lines of that, yes.
But
Pretty
a
much
bunch
the
of
exact-
memes popped up from that, they're like abdomen and abdo-women.
If you just replace men with woman and like any other word, that's how they memed it so many times. But they've also made it where that they finally addressed that there's only two genders.
That is true. They did address that.
Like, why wouldn't they say a trans or a anything else, right? You know what I mean?
Good for them. Moving on to my one more thing, gentlemen. I was going to talk about what happened to the Capitol on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna. Okay, I'll start with this. Donald Trump had a speech that morning. Okay, I listened to a lot of the speech while I was doing my schoolwork. As if y'all don't know, I'm homeschooled, so I get to do that kind of stuff. But I was doing my schoolwork, listening to this speech. At the very end of the speech, he says, "Let's march to the Capitol." Okay, and not implying let's break into the Capitol.
Let's legitimately break in the Capitol.
Of course, the president wouldn't imply that. But a bunch of people marched to the Capitol. They went into the Capitol. There were a few people that later recognized on videos and stuff. There were Capitol Police that were brought in, and also people from those same vans where they brought the Capitol Police in were also Trump supporters, like fake Trump supporters or something. And those were the people that broke into the building, which is weird. Little suspicious, right?
But
Go ahead. Noah has something to say, I think.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. He looked like he was about to press the button, so I thought.
But the thing is, so I heard 4 people died, but I'm going to say this in the context of what pretty much. I'm not going to say it's. I'm going to say this CNN. What I'm going to say is not CNN, but what represents all the news stations. But they will put the news headline as
what they want people to hear.
3 people died, or 4 people died. 3 died, or 3 were. No. I think it was more just 3 people died and 1 woman executed. And it's so
Is that
dumb.
what they put on CNN?
I saw something that not on CNN. I'm saying like some news station.
Okay,
but put 3 people died, or I guess 4 people died and 1 person was executed or something like that. But really, what happened was. I don't know the story on the person who was executed.
I can tell you the story of that.
But 3 people died of some medical conditions. But that one other person. So what happened on that?
You know, I saw the video, and it's kind of hard to see what really happens. All you see in the corner, there's a picture of like a hand cut off right here with a gun.
Yeah.
And a lady just kind of standing there, kind of vibing, and then she just gets shot.
What?
And then there's a bunch of police that do nothing about it. There's all kinds of sketchy stuff that was on with this Senate. All of what happened was just a weird day, and
And a guy in what would you call that suit thing? Like I guess a Viking.
The Viking suit.
A Viking, I guess cosplay. What you would say?
Yes.
But he walked in. I don't know how they walked in so easily. Like they broke windows, which so
of course you can't do that, and
do you think
of course we say
wrong?
that.
Do you think it's wrong that they broke into the building?
No,
in my opinion,
it's not. The Capitol building is the people's building. It's not.
My biased,
the people's.
My biased opinion is that I think it's allowed for them to do it. Like, but
It's the people's building.
Straight fat, like what you would see as a picture, right? You would see it. I would see it as illegal. It is illegal to break into a building. But
Fine.
right?
Of course,
like breaking windows, which is destroying private property. But I don't think it can compare to anything that. I guess I'm gonna not get canceled from this. Please don't cancel me.
It's okay.
But BLM and Antifa, and I guess you could say a lot of the
You cannot
left
compare
side.
it. It's
Not
not
all of
comparable
the
to what happened at the Capitol on
They
Wednesday.
burn buildings. They execute people. No, these news stations, CNN news stations, stuff like that, they turn a blind eye to these murderings. All right?
Okay.
The policemen are murdered, and apparently, from what I've seen, is 3 people died in the next like 5 days, just in the new year. 3 officers died. Police officers, and then it is approximated that a police officer dies every 57 hours.
Dang.
That is terrible. That is one of the things I really hate in this. Not only is it because of, I guess, different aspects of just policing, like getting shot at or something, just because of like some like criminal activity.
Yeah,
but
sure.
From actual like officers getting executed or actually just shot by a lot of people from different groups. I just don't agree with them, and I think it should be canceled. Like, not canceled, but I think they should just put a stop on it. You know what I mean?
I'm going to say something real quick, and then we'll move on. This is about CNN. My dad showed me a video on his computer, and I will never, ever forget this video. Headline: Mostly peaceful protests. Background where the guy was filming: burning building.
Yeah, it's really dumb. And hey, does Noah have a one more thing?
You have one more thing, Noah?
I do. This one's kind of just not as serious as y'all's.
Okay, fair enough.
This one's just like, the fact is the first oranges weren't orange at all. They were green.
Whoa.
Yo.
Wait, so they were like limes?
Yeah.
Where'd you find that?
My name? Question mark.
On a random website.
Did you really just look up random fact?
Probably
Yeah.
because we have an orange. Is it because of the orange on like the side?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it
they're
is.
on the corner of the table.
Okay.
I'm about to eat that orange after we're done with this. Orange.
Okay, let's wrap the show up. We'll do some sellout moments real quick. Go to how101.com for informations and school activities.
And you can be able to donate, give us your money.
No, don't.
You can also buy merch, and make sure you guys subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss another one of our videos. It'd be really great if you could share this, and if you can comment
Please.
on for any information how to improve our podcast, because I believe we can get 80 subscribers in the next 2 weeks.
I believe we can do that too, and I would ask for everybody to share this with one person. That's all you got to do.
All you got to do. That'll like double the things by 100. That'll be... I'm dumb.
Share this with one person. I know there's people in Howe that would want to hear about this. And special thanks to Mr. Williams for joining us today.
Absolutely.
That was a good segment, I believe. And we might have him on again for something different like that. I believe next week we are having Wes Robertson on.
Yep.
And I think that's going to do it for this show. For me, Jake Roberts,
For me, Lucas Mitchell.
And for me, Noah Riley.
we're signing off for now.